Hey everyone, it's Jacob here, back in with another video. For today's video, so this video is going to be a little different from my usual videos because today I wanted to do a video like just talking all about autism because for those who don't know, this month, the month that we're in currently is April, and April is Autism Acceptance Month, and so I thought I wanted to do a video about autism since it's Autism Acceptance Month, and as of the time of me filming this video, there's only like a couple days left in April, so I only had a little bit of time left to make this video before Autism Acceptance Month ended. But yeah, so I'm basically going to be talking about like just some some stuff about autism, like what is autism and like struggles that autistic people have and stuff like that. Of course, I'm autistic, as I'm sure a lot of people that watch my videos know. I feel like I've said that I'm autistic quite a few times throughout all the videos on my YouTube channel. So those of you who watch my videos should know that I'm autistic. So yeah, that's also part of the reason why I wanted to make a video about autism, because I'm autistic, and so I have kind of a personal connection to Autism Acceptance Month and all that. But yeah, so let's start with the basics. So I'm sure pretty much everybody already knows what autism is, but for those who don't know what autism is, it's basically a disability that affects the brain, and it's basically like people with autism, their brain is different, and like it basically affects how people with autism can like do things, or like affects how they like socialize and stuff like that. And so yeah, it's basically a disability that affects the brain. It's basically the simplest way that I would put it. And also, well, a lot of people with autism have like tics. I mean, not tics, but stims. That's what I meant to say. A lot of people with autism have stims. For example, some autistic people rock back and forth like this. I do that sometimes. That's a stim. Or like a lot of autistic people like flap their hands like this. I do that a lot. That's another stim. There's a couple of examples. Or a lot of autistic people have like special interests. Like, for example, one obvious special interest of mine is YouTube. Of course, I love watching YouTube. I love making YouTube videos, of course, on this YouTube channel, and stuff like that. And then, of course, another words here. I was gonna say, of course, another one of my special interests is video games. Or one very special interest of mine is collecting DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that. Like, as you can see, I have a whole shelf of DVDs right next to me, right here. It's obviously like filled with DVDs and Blu-rays and all that stuff. And I have like 3 other shelves filled with DVDs and stuff, like in another area of my loft, like over that way. I also have some DVDs on the floor and stuff, like in little stacks. So I should probably get another shelf, because I've run out of space on like my shelves and stuff. I don't have any more room for DVDs on my shelves, so I've had to put DVDs on the floor. Like new DVDs I've gotten, I've had to put them on the floor. But anyways, but yeah, that's a very special interest of mine, is collecting DVDs, and I feel like a lot of autistic people like collecting things. Like, I've seen that autistic people like collecting stuff like plushies, like stuffed animals, or they could like collecting like, I don't know, it's like random little things like money, or just little things like that. That's another kind of common thing with autistic people. A lot of autistic people like collecting things, basically. Like other collections I have besides like DVDs and Blu-rays are like video games, books, CDs, like music CDs, vinyl records, yeah, board games. I almost forgot to say that, board games. But yeah, so that's basically kind of a little bit about like what autism is. And so in the other section of this video, I guess, if you will, is like things that people with autism struggle with. And by the way, all autistic people like differ on like how they want to be referred as, because some autistic people like to be referred to as autistic people, then other autistic people would prefer to be referred to as like a person with autism. But for me personally, if I'm referring to myself, I prefer to say that I'm autistic rather than that I have autism. I prefer to say that I'm autistic. That's how I refer to myself as being autistic. But I don't really care how other people refer to me as. They can call me either or, and I don't really care. They can call me autistic or a person with autism. I don't really care. But I prefer to refer to myself as autistic. But yeah, anyways. But so like starting out with with the struggles autistic people had, the first kind of like struggle autistic people had I want to mention is school. Um, so autistic people do struggle sometimes in school. I'm not in school anymore. I'm 22. But, I mean, not really like autistic people don't really struggle that much with like grades or like classes or anything, because a lot of autistic people are pretty smart. But autistic people tend to have like bullies in school, and of course, like I said before, a lot of autistic people have trouble like socializing and stuff, and so that could be pretty tough for autistic people in school. They can't really like socialize well. Um, but for me, I was only in public school and elementary school, and after elementary school, I went to online school, because mainly because my mom was worried that I would like get bullied in middle school. Um, but also another reason was I would get lost pretty often in elementary school, because my public elementary school that I went to was like pretty much like a maze, pretty much. So I would get lost quite a bit. Like I would have to like go off on my own away from like my class to like some special classes I had to go to. Like, for example, like there's like a speech class that I had to go to, or like I can't really remember any other specific ones. Um, but yeah, that was another reason why I went into online school in middle school, was because I would get lost a lot in elementary school. Um, I don't think I ever had any bullies when I was in public elementary school, thankfully. At least I don't think so. I obviously don't remember everything from when I was in elementary school, because that was quite a long time ago. Um, yeah, from what I remember, I don't think I was ever really bullied in elementary school, thankfully. Um, but I'm sure some other autistic people were bullied in elementary school, and if they're in public school and like middle and high school, they might have been bullied in middle school and high school as well. But yeah, but sometimes I do wonder what would be like if I didn't go into online school. Like I kind of wish I would have at least tried, staying in public school, uh, which I've kind of talked about it with my mom before, and my mom has kind of like blamed herself. Like, she's told me that like she's sorry for putting me in online school, and I've told her like she doesn't have to be sorry. Like, it's a choice that we all made together as a family, which is true. Um, but yeah, I remember my mom told me once that she was thinking like maybe it would have been good if I was like an online school in middle school, and then we could have like tried putting me back in public school when I started high school. I think that possibly could have. I think that sounded like it possibly could have been a good plan, if we thought about it sooner when I was like still in school, obviously. Um, but yeah, yeah, I just kind of wish I could have like at least tried staying in public school, because I also felt like I didn't really get like the full school experience in online school, because you don't really get to interact with like fellow students very much at all in online school. The only real chance that I got at like interacting with other students in my online school was in something called live lessons, which is kind of like a virtual classroom, and all the students could like talk in like a chat kind of thing. They could like type like stuff that they wanted to say, and so that was really the only chance that was like really the only time that like students could like really talk to each other in my online school. But yeah, So yeah, that was all I wanted to say about how autistic people might struggle in school. And then another thing is, I'm sure a lot of autistic people can relate to this, and that is struggling to make friends. I have struggled to make friends basically all my life. Um, I remember having a few friends when I was in like public elementary school, and then after I like graduated from elementary school and went to online middle school, I did still have um, some, like after I went to middle school and to online school and stuff, I still had some friends from like elementary school that would like come over to my house and like hang out sometimes and stuff. But then eventually they all ended up moving away, and I kind of like lost them as friends, which is pretty sad. Um, I sometimes still think about them to this day. Honestly, like I definitely miss some of them. Some of them, I'm like, I'm not sure if I really miss them that much. But then others I was like closer with, I definitely like miss them. I'm not gonna say any like specific names or anything, because that's obviously like personal, like private stuff. Um, but yeah, um, but but not even just with school, just like in life in general. I think most autistic people obviously have trouble making friends. But then I have seen like some autistic people that are a little bit more outgoing, a little more extroverted. They don't have like as much trouble making friends. But that's like the minority of autistic people. The majority of autistic people are definitely very introverted and have trouble making friends. But I have seen some autistic people that are more extroverted and like don't have as much trouble making friends. Um, but in like recent years, I've like I've like made friends through like social media. Like I found friends through like groups on Facebook, um or like more recently I made a friend through TikTok, just stuff like that. Um I mean, I feel like I can't really be like that close with like people I meet online, because more often than not, friends I meet online don't really live close to me. Like they live in like other states and stuff. Um, so like for that reason, since I can't like meet up with them in person and like hang out with them in person or anything, I just feel like I can't really get like really close with them. Um, since we only talk through like text and stuff. Um, but yeah, that was basically all I want to say about like how those people struggle with making friends, and that kind of leads into the next thing, which is kind of similar, which is a lot of autistic people struggle with like finding love and like being in relationships and stuff. Um, so I have definitely struggled with finding love and stuff. I have had one girlfriend before, a few years ago now, in 2022, I believe it was, and the relationship I had with her didn't last very long. We were only together for like about 5 months, and then she broke up with me because I didn't have a car, I couldn't drive, I couldn't have a job, stuff like that. So so she decided she didn't love me. She decided she didn't love me anymore because I wasn't like independent enough, which was kind of stupid because I feel like you shouldn't decide if you love someone just based off of like if they're independent or not, or like if they have a job or if they can drive. I just feel like you shouldn't decide if you love someone just based on that. Um, so yeah, but obviously I'm over that now because that was quite a while ago. Um, but yeah, of course, a lot of autistic people like struggle with finding love and stuff. There's even a whole show on Netflix about autistic people trying to find love. It's called Love on the Spectrum. That's a show that I quite like. It has like 3 seasons now, and that show is very popular. I'm sure a lot of people watching this right now have seen that show. Um, but yeah, uh, I um, I haven't really been able to find love again after that first girlfriend that I had that I mentioned. Um, it's also sad because I was pretty much best friends with that girl before we like got together, became boyfriend and girlfriend. And then after we broke up, um, we we like started talking to each other like less and less, and now we just really never talk to each other. We're not even really friends anymore, which is pretty sad. But I feel like it's kind of like a general thing that happens with anyone that breaks up with someone. It's not just like an autism thing. I feel like it's just like a general thing that happens with like anyone that like breaks up with someone. Sometimes they just can't really be friends after they break up. And yeah, but anyway, but yeah, and then also another thing I want to talk about is like work and like trying to find a job. A lot of autistic people struggle with like trying to find a job and stuff, and I did very much struggle trying to find a job for a long time. But I think about a month ago now, I think it was, I did find a job. It was mainly thanks to my sister. She got me a job at like a pizza place because she's able to get me that job because she had a friend who worked there. Um, and I was pretty excited because I was basically going to be a part of like a group of people that are in like a program of people with disabilities. I was like part of the pizza place. Um, I'm obviously not going to say like the name of the pizza place I work at or anything because that's pretty personal stuff, you know, privacy and all that. So basically I was excited because at first I thought that program with people with disabilities was all like people with like high functioning autism like me. But then after I started working there, I found out that a lot of the people in the program had Down syndrome, and I've never really like connected with people with Down syndrome really. I just never really liked people with Down syndrome to be honest. I've never really like been able to like get along well with them, and of course a lot of people can't really understand what people with Down syndrome are saying because obviously that's not words there. I was gonna say obviously every person that has Down syndrome has like a speech thing, or it can be kind of hard to understand what they're saying. But I feel like some people with Down syndrome, you can like understand them better than like other people. Like for example, there's a girl, a character on Glee, my favorite show. I'm actually wearing a Glee shirt right now, actually. But there is a character on Glee, my favorite show, who is she's actually a girl with Down syndrome, and I can pretty much understand what she says most of the time, at least on the show. So I feel like some people with Down syndrome like are able to be like understood better than others. I guess it just like depends. But anyways, but yeah, I just kind of got less excited when I found out that that a lot of people in that program at the pizza place I was working at had Down syndrome. Just because, like I said, I haven't really felt like I've really been able to like connect with people with Down syndrome or anything like that. But yeah, so but also the actual like work as well isn't wasn't really like exactly what I was expecting, and I mean when I first started like trying to find a job like a while back, I kind of knew that like I didn't really want a job that had to do with food, like working at a restaurant or like something like that. I just felt like I wouldn't really enjoy that. But then there was one time where me and my mom and my dad, we were on a road trip. We're actually heading back home from. We had went on a little road trip to visit my grandparents, and we were heading back home. And on the way back home, we stopped at a restaurant. I think it was like a McDonald's or something like that. And me and my mom saw a guy that was working there, and the guy actually had. Well, we didn't know for sure, obviously, but we kind of tell that we thought that the guy had autism, and when me and my mom saw him, when I saw him like working and stuff, I said to my mom, I was like looking at him, maybe a job with food wouldn't be so bad. I was kind of like reconsidering after seeing that guy working at the McDonald's that we stopped at, that we suspected to be autistic, but then after I started working at this pizza place that I work at now, like working at this pizza place kind of confirmed for me that like I don't really want to be in a job that involves with food. Like working there, I've just thought, yeah, this kind of confirms for me that I don't really want to have a job that involves food. But yeah, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of autistic people out there that have been looking for a job for a while and still don't have a job, and And even for non-autistic people, even for people without autism, finding a job can be pretty hard. Um, but I feel like it's a little bit hard for people with autism to find a job as opposed to people without autism, but it can still be pretty hard for people who don't have autism to find a job. But yeah, but yeah, I kind of wish I could find a better job. Like some people have told me like that it'll like get better, and they think that this job that I have, this pizza place, is like the best thing for me. But there's a popular saying that I'm sure everybody who's watching this right now has heard, and that saying is, "You are the only one who knows what's best for you. You yourself is the only one who knows what's best for you." And I kind of feel it in my gut, like have a gut feeling that this pizza place job just isn't the right job for me. Like I can just feel it. Like it doesn't feel like the right job for me. But maybe I'll just try to find another job as fast as I can, to like so I don't have to work at this pizza place for too much longer. But I'm not sure how long it would take to find another job. But yeah. Anyway, um, but yeah, I guess that's kind of all I wanted to say. I'm thinking I might stop this video here because I don't really want this video to, get too long or anything. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. This is a video all about autism and basically like stuff that people with autistic people like struggle with and stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think I hope you found this video informative. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Of course, please like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, ring the bells to get notified whenever I post any new videos. And yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So of course, we'll enjoy this video. And I'll of course see you next time. Peace.